About a year ago, I realized something felt off. I could be in a situation that should feel good, but somehow it just didn't. I could be with friends, be at the gym, or just have a moment to relax. But for some reason, it all felt off. Not because something was actually wrong, but because no matter what I was doing, I just couldn't enjoy it. And it took me several months to realize why that happened. And if you've ever been in that place, you know how strange that feels. Because on paper, everything looks fine. You're doing the right things, you're staying disciplined and actually trying to move your life forward. But your everyday life feels different. You're with friends, but instead of just being there and enjoying the moment, there's this constant background thought, is this really what I should be doing right now? Even when you were at the gym and all your work is done, and you finally have a moment to relax, you can't fully switch off. Because a part of your mind keeps scanning for something more useful. And the weird part is, you know this doesn't really make sense. You know that it's okay to just be there sometimes, but it doesn't change anything, because that feeling is still there. And slowly it feels like you can't enjoy anything anymore. And honestly, it makes sense why that happens. Because you've trained yourself to think like that. You learned that your time matters, that you should use it well, and that you should always be moving forward. That if you stay disciplined, keep improving, and just focus on what actually matters, your life will get better. And that's not wrong, because it works. It gives you direction, it helps you build something, and it keeps you from wasting your time. So naturally, you start looking at everything through that lens. And you start asking yourself, is this useful? Is this actually worth it? And is this actually moving my life forward? And at first, of course, this mindset helps you. But over time, something about it starts to shift. If that mindset is supposed to make your life better, why does it slowly make it harder to enjoy? Why does it feel like the more intentional you are with your time, the less you actually enjoy it? You're not wasting your time. You're doing things that should make you feel at peace. So why does it feel off anyway? Why does it feel like no matter what you're doing, there's always something in the background telling you your time could be better spent? And here's where it gets interesting. Because the problem isn't what you're doing, it's how you're relating to it. Because at some point you stopped just being with what you're doing and started constantly evaluating it. Every situation turns into something your mind checks. Now it's not asking anymore, what is this like? What does this feel like? But is this worth it? It switches from actually experiencing to constantly analyzing. And that shift is subtle, because it doesn't feel like a decision. It just happens automatically. You're with friends, but instead of just being there, your mind is constantly comparing it to something else you could be doing instead. You're at the gym, but instead of just experiencing the workout, you're already thinking about what's next. Even when you're doing nothing, your mind is still active, looking for something more useful. And that's why it feels like you can't enjoy anything anymore. Because enjoyment only exists when you're actually inside the experience. But the moment you start analyzing it, you also step out of it. And now you're no longer living the moment, but judging it. And the more your brain gets used to that, the more automatic it becomes. Until everything you do goes through that filter. Now for every experience, it's not, do I like this anymore? It's, does this make sense? And that's why even things that should feel fulfilling don't anymore. Not because they changed, but because the way you experienced them did. And when I saw that, I realized the problem wasn't that I just couldn't enjoy my life anymore. And it wasn't that the things I was doing suddenly stopped being good. The real problem was that I just weren't really in them. Because the moment everything has to prove its value is also the moment you stop experiencing. And that's why it feels empty. Not because your life is missing something, but because you are constantly stepping out of it to judge it. But the moment you stop doing that, something shifts. You don't need better situations. And you don't need more discipline. You just need to stop asking every moment to justify itself. Because not everything in your life is meant to move you forward. Some things are just meant to be lived. And the moment you allow that, things start to feel real again. Not because your life suddenly changed, but because you're finally back inside of it.